Okay, so we have your attention back up here. We're going to hear from the genetically modified organisms group. Please give them a welcome.
Good morning. We represent students of William and Maryland and Orange County High Schools, and we're here to discuss our grant proposals for genetic modification in agriculture. Genetic modification in agriculture is essential for feeding the whole planet and therefore should be regulated properly. These plants are a fairly new technology and are focused around adding more nutrition to the foods and just overall a higher profit. Due to the newness, these plants haven't had much significant research on their effects on the human body, and some people are very wary of this and they choose to stay away from them. But it's a hard task due to the fact that they're properly labeled, and so we don't really know. Our proposal is to add legislation making it a requirement for any company wishing to sell these foods to properly label before putting them on the shelves.
Scientists are aware, the government is aware of what is going on with GMOs, but no action is being taken because they believe that this will solve hunger. GMOs are in fact killing more people from the health problems than they are helping. Scientists are not taking into consideration the health problems associated with consuming GMOs. They're also not concerned about the cross-contamination of these plants, and they're still continuing to test and make GMOs. The public is largely unaware of this topic, and the Non-GMO Project is the only group trying to raise awareness, address the government, and raise funds for GMOs. They're a nonprofit organization that provides non-GMO products to consumers who are opposed to GMOs. One of the main concerns of GMOs is the cross-contamination of these plants. It poses a big risk of wiping out all of the non-GMO crops, leaving us with just the GMO foods. The biggest problem with GMOs is that people are not aware that they are consuming hazardous foods when they are just being labeled as organic or natural. A study found that a huge percentage of fetuses in pregnant women had BT toxins in them, which cause birth defects. More chemicals being added to these plants have caused more allergies. And a study in Ecuador found a higher degree of DNA damage in areas sprayed with GMO chemicals, which cause birth defects and even cancer.
So, the main issue we're trying to address is putting labels on all foods that have been genetically modified. 64 countries, like places such as Russia, China, the UK, all of these places have laws that enforce GMO labeling on all foods. This issue has become more and more popular throughout the past 5 years, and the reason that GMO food should be labeled is because they have a lot of health issues towards them, such as people having reactions to them, many babies having birth defects after people are eating these foods, as well as death in some cases. So, what we're going to try to do is lobbying and purchase labels to put on all foods that have been genetically modified, to put them on the packaging and the label clearly so people can tell what they're eating or what's being put inside their bodies.
So to take action for this, we're going to hire lobbyists to lobby Congress to instate a law saying that all foods have labels, very clear, large labels on the packaging, stating whether or not they contain genetically modified organisms. And so people, it's important because people, they really need to know what they're eating, and so the labels, they can tell people, so they can decide whether they want to have the genetically modified ones that could be healthier, but then also have the risk of the birth defects, or if they can just eat the completely untouched ones. It's very possible to do this, to put the labels on it. A lot of countries in Europe have been doing this and still are since 2004.
There are many issues with GMOs. Part of the reason that we're going to do labeling is because many of these are physically impossible at this time. For labeling, there have been other little initiatives, such as in the European Union, where sales have dropped significantly afterwards. Part of the reason we do not know what health risks that these GMO organisms have is because companies own the patents to them and can make scientists not be able to research them fully because of their copyright. So for this, to get to the part where eventually we will be able to have this because they won't have much money, we will have lawyers go to Congress. Lawyers will go to Congress and it will lobby. Lawyers will go to Congress and lobbies that they'll vote yes on current initiatives and bills that will make it where these products are labeled. The lawyers will cost about $75,000 per year, and polls, which have often been around 90% positive towards these fundings, will be another $10,000. So if the public knows about these issues, there'll be another $75,000 per year. With your funding, this will be around 2 years fully funded for our lobbyists, publicists, and polls. We'll be able to know that our initiatives are working due to the fact that all of those products on the shelves will be labeled, and due to how it's seen in the European Union, this will likely have dropped in the sales of these products in the U.S. market.
On average, Americans consume up to 123 pounds of GMO food per year, but a recent survey shows that only 42% of Americans know they are consuming GMOs. The main goal of our group is to simply get labels on GMO products. It's a relatively quick and simple process, and it would only take up to 2 years maximum. And labeling is very cheap for the companies that have GMO foods, and it will cost them around 3 cents per label. We deserve your funding because this is a major product and it's been on since 20 years, but only around 42% of the public know they are eating GMOs. And up to 58% say they don't want GMOs in their food. So we can inform them, they can make health choices there in regards to their family and their practices. And then our next step is to get lobbyists so we can go to Congress and we can get a bill passed to address this problem.
You said that you wanted to have the lobbyists get a bill passed. Can you, what is consisting of the bill?
Well, it would enforce, or not really enforce, but it would state that companies that use genetically modified organisms in their product, it will require them to put labels on the packages that they ship the food out to, like the grocery stores in. So on the package, it will say that it contains genetically modified organisms in it. So people will know that it's a genetically modified plant.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Just read.
So what I wrote down was, I guess, is this something we could be concerned about because we live in a country where we have enough options for food that we can afford to be picky about what we eat? Because there's a lot with, I think, genetic modification where, yeah, people do it because it can be easier and save companies money or something like that. You know, are there benefits as well? And once we kind of go past the labeling point, is it past the point of no return where we can't have any beneficial GMOs because it's kind of become a buzzword, like GMO bad, can't eat, like not natural, not organic? Like, I guess, do we run the risk of not ever being able to use this as a helpful type of technology? I'm very pro GMO food, by the way, so I feel like I need to state that.
I really, I don't think we were trying to say that genetically modified foods are bad in any way. I just, some people, like you said, 42% of Americans, like, they don't even know. And I think that they need to know at least what they're eating. Like I said, I don't think we tried to say that they were bad, but they can cause issues, but they can also make it so that more people have it. Because there are people in America who are starving. And so with genetically modified organisms that can grow faster and more, and the food's more available to them, which is good. But then it does have the chance to cause the birth defects, which isn't as pleasant.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so, like,
It kind of feels like you guys are step one of a plan that has to eventually require more education on the subject as well. But it's like,
yeah.
let's get the info kind of out there first.
Like I said, it's being picky, it's being very picky about everything, and like, it really is for like the developed countries, like, developing countries, I don't think they're really worried about what they eat as long as they can eat. But especially in India, like our first world or developed countries, which is most of Europe, almost all of Europe and the United States, I think being picky about what we eat and all that is like just something that happens.
And add on what you said, when Haiti had that bad earthquake, I want to say '09, the U.S. took over 2 tons of GMO products, and the Haitian farmers actually burned their crops because they heard about the benefits. Well, not the benefits, the problems that they caused, and they said they didn't want any problems. They just stick to organic food. So it's just it's not just us. It's all
Yeah.
Very well done. Thank you.